Hi everyone, this is Radhika here again. I hope you all are doing well. Today's video that I wanted to make is basically about stages of recovery in narcissistic abuse. Um, so basically, I have seen this in a lot of people that I have interacted with, and I have seen this in my own life. And in this video, I'm also providing some things I have noticed while I have been doing Reiki on various clients. So I'm not going to reveal like names or anything. It's just energetically what I feel. Um, so these are the stages that I think everyone goes through, and the intention of this video is basically you can see these stages and you can see where you are in the process of recovery, and also you might not be in your recovery or your process might not fit into this template. So if it doesn't, then maybe you can comment below and tell what your process has been like. um, so basically, this is how I see it. So the first stage is when you actually understand that something is wrong. So you come across these terms for the first time. Maybe you come across narcissistic personality disorder, or narcissistic behavior, or scapegoating, or gaslighting, all these terms which we usually do not know unless we have studied psychology. We come across these when we are kind of, looking for some help, maybe online or on YouTube or in different places. Or someone just says that, oh, sounds like that person is very narcissistic. So, this word just sticks with you. Um, whoever the narcissistic person is has been in your life, and I don't know where on the spectrum they are or they were, and how much distance you have from them currently. But yeah, we all in the varied experiences of narcissism that we have faced, we do come across this stage where things get so bad that we start looking out for solutions, because in the beginning you don't actually you there's no big flag saying that warning something is wrong with this person, because a lot of NPD people are not sociopaths, or they are, at least in this generation, most of them are not physically abusive, they are just more mentally abusive. So it takes some time to actually understand what's going wrong, because it's not like a glaring thing in your face. The first thing is actually thinking that there's a problem and trying to find a solution and coming across some information. The second stage is just going crazy, learning everything you can about it from all the possible places. And I know this stage very well, because I am very, very inquisitive as a person. So when I get into my investigation mode, I will go to any depths to investigate something. So I had read so much about narcissism. I had seen so many videos on YouTube about it. I was reading about even people who were not in my original experience narcissistic. I was reading about those things. Like, I don't even have a brother, but if there was a blog on a narcissistic brother, I was reading it. I don't know why, but I was. So I just kind of got addicted to learning more and more about it. And it mainly happens because it's really crazy that someone else is having the exact same experience which you are having. And it's separated by geography, separated by boundaries, separated by time and space and distance and so many things, but the experience is the same. And So when you read about it, you feel like I'm reading about my own story here. And so that's what really gets you hooked on it, and that's what makes you feel that you are not alone who's going through all these things. Because it's very hard to explain about the abuse to someone who has not been in a similar situation. They just feel like you're complaining about some small thing, and they don't know how rampant it is, and how even small things matter, and how you are noticing everything. And you need people who are in the same frequency as you, who have been through this, in order for them to exactly understand what you have been through. So yeah, so the second step is you just read about it, learn about it from every place possible. The third step is you go back now in history, in your own experience, and now with this new knowledge that you have gained or read or understood everywhere, you integrate your experience with this new knowledge. So you start putting the puzzle together, and you start putting, so you realize, oh, okay, this person is the scapegoat, oh, this person is an enabler, this person is a flying monkey, and you kind of put everything in perspective. And once you do that, you kind of play put the puzzle together, you see the whole picture. You start understanding it from a very different point of view. You start understanding the whole picture, and now you have kind of taken yourself out of the puzzle, because before you were a piece in the puzzle. You were very much into it, you were very much into the whole experience, and you were feeling all the emotions and this and that. But now, because you have understanding about the situation, you have the ability to take yourself out of the situation and see the whole puzzle. So yeah, that is the next step. The fourth step that most people go through is hating, and basically a lot of feeling of hating, anger, resentment, videos about, or like feelings about how a person has done this thing which is bad to me, and that. And I'm not discounting it, I'm not saying that they haven't, they have. But it's a phase where you feel all of that hatred again for that person, because now that you have integrated your whole experience, the things that you had felt at those points in your life, all of that is coming back now. All of it together integrated is coming back now. So it's a lot of hatred, it's a lot of history, it's a lot of baggage that you have now, because you have the experience, you have the understanding, you took yourself out of the picture, you understood everything. But those feelings are still there, because at some point you felt them and you did not process them. And now that you have understood what has been happening your whole life, those feelings, they will stay with you, because you have to process them, they have to be let go of in a good way. They are there with you as your children, and you have to kind of like, what do you say, raise them and let them go away in the world. So that's the fourth step. So all these are a lot of Manipur chakra based feelings, because Manipur chakra is what forms your identity in the world. And when you are surrounded with narcissists, or in a narcissistic family, or you have a big narcissist in your life, what they do is they try to diminish your identity, because a narcissist's ego is so big that if they see anyone else who has an identity, they feel, what do you say, threatened by that other person. And if you have been a child who has been raised in a narcissistic family, or if you have stayed in a narcissistic situation for a long time, say you married into a family who had a narcissist, slowly over time they have chipped away at your identity. And this has happened very subtly, very very subtly. So what happens is your Manipur chakra might be totally out of balance, and you will sway, so you will become a victim, and suddenly you will want revenge. and then you will become a victim again, and then suddenly you want revenge. And then if you kind of balance your energies, you will find the middle path of being empowered, being in your own self. But that can sway again. So yeah, so it's difficult to handle your Manipur chakra in a good way when you have been in such situations. And this happened to me too. I did not want to talk to people. I used to go to office, but I did not want to interact. I did not want to like present in office, show myself. So all these things happen, and slowly you have to kind of start healing your Manipur chakra if you have been near narcissists. And I see this a lot. There are so many channels on YouTube which are about narcissists, and they are very useful. I saw those channels and I learned so much from them. But they took me only to a particular point. They took me to this point, basically to the fourth point that I am mentioning, which is hating on the narcissist. So they stopped there. They stopped at hating on the narcissist, and they didn't move beyond from that point. And I was at that point for a long time, but then I got bored of hating on the narcissist because I thought, okay, fine, I've hated on them enough. Now, what do I do about it from here? What are the practical steps that I take to move ahead? I can't spend my whole life hating a person. No person is worth that much hate. Like no person is worth so much of my time that I spend my life hating them. I have better things to do with my life. It's not about, a lot of people feel that if you stop hating a person, you have stopped punishing them. That's not true. When you stop hating a person, you stop punishing yourself, because every time you are hating and spending so much of energy thinking about someone else, what things they did, what words they said, you are spending your own precious time and your own precious energy on a narcissist. And do they deserve that? They are taking away your time and energy, even if you have separated yourself from them, even if you have gotten no contact. Um, so basically, that's what I started feeling, that I'm wasting a lot of my time on people who don't actually matter so much to me. And that's when I actually went to the next step. So the next stage is a lot of heart based feelings. So now you come up from the Manipur chakra, you come to the heart, and these feelings are also not always that good. These are feelings of like feeling hurt, feeling unloved, um, feeling regret. So it's a lot of or worried. You are worried about other people when they are near the narcissist. So these are all feelings of the Anahat chakra, and these feelings are heart based. And again, with the narcissists near you, your heart based feelings will also sway. So one day you might feel very very happy and very loving and very much giving, but the other another day you might feel depressed, lonely, like no one understands you, hurt, like your heart is just like you want to protect it in a box. And so you will get all these feelings. You will get a lot of worry. If some of your loved ones are still in contact with the narcissist, you will feel a lot of worry because you don't want them to be swayed on of you don't want them to go the narcissist's way, or you don't have enough trust in that person to not get swayed by what the narcissist is saying. So you might have a lot of worry. And all of these feelings are very heart based. They are based in the Anahat chakra. And I have a video on Anahat Chakra, and I also link meditation steps video on Anahat Chakra, which is even more in detail. So please feel free to see those videos, because heart is where we get affected a lot after going through a narcissistic situation. So yeah, this is the next step. Now after that, the sixth step is, after you have been depressed and all that for a long time, you feel okay, what do I do next? Okay, so I have stopped thinking about the narcissist now. I'm thinking about myself. But when I think about myself, I mean, my current state is a state of depression, of not trusting, of not, you know, feeling good about myself or about the world, being in a kind of a worried state. So, what do I do? So, then that's the next step, which is where you conquer the fear which is in your heart of getting hurt again, of trying again. And you conquer this fear and you decide that no, you know what, I'm going to give it one more shot. And I'm going to try to find ways to come out of this loneliness, to come out of this hurt, to come out of this, this whole situation that happened in my life. And from today I want to make a change, and I want to, forget about all the narcissistic people, about all the flying monkeys, about every situation that I had in my life, and I want to change my life for the better. So that's the phase, which is pretty long, because you, at this phase now, you are going to try to look for things that make you feel good again. So you might join like an exercise class, or you might start meditating, or you might make a lot of changes in your diet, in your lifestyle. You might start monitoring your thoughts more, that I don't want to think about the narcissist now. I'm going to replace narcissist's thoughts by some thoughts of how I want to make my future look like, or my present look like. You might focus on the good things in life, like your children, or something that makes you happy, a hobby, etc. So here is the phase where Vivek, which is in the Anahat Chakra, which is a vritti of the Anahat Chakra, is very, very important, because that's discretion. So at this phase, you can have the discretion that I don't want to fall back into the loop that I was in with the narcissists, with the narcissistic family, with the situations, etc. Now I want to move out of this loop. I want to come out of this, circular thing that keeps on going round and round and round. I want to take a different route. And that's when the progress actually, I would say all of these steps are progress, but that's when the next step actually begins. So now you have actually given up everything to do with the narcissist, and now you are focusing on yourself. And all these things that I mentioned are tools of self love, of how you build up yourself again. Um, so yeah, that's the sixth step. And then the seventh step is basically rebuilding life for the better, and this will basically last you the rest of your life. So now that you have been in this narcissistic experience, you cannot always protect yourself from narcissists, and you don't have to because narcissistic people don't really have any power over you that you have to protect yourself from them. But it's just that, a lot of people, they just want to always avoid the narcissist and keep, I don't want to say like running away, but they want to resist narcissists. And which is okay, because everyone resists narcissists. But in that process of resisting, they also become afraid of narcissists. They think they are demons, and there's all these, like, scary terms associated with narcissists. But narcissists don't have any power over you. They really don't. They only have power over you when you give away your power, and when you attach to the things that they are doing. So when you stop attaching to the things that they are doing, and of course I don't mean that they are hitting you, and not all these things. Like, if you are in a physically abusive situation, just, that is not what I'm talking about. I'm not advising people to stay in abusive relationships. What I'm saying is, if it is a what I would say is like a low level narcissistic person who's always like, taunting you, or saying bad things about you and things like that. Those people you don't have to be afraid of. You can obviously try to avoid them, but there's no need of being scared of them. Because if you have filled yourself up, if you are full of your own energy, of your own goodness, then you don't have to fear people who are trying to throw slingshots or mud at you, because you are beyond that basically at that point. So that's the next stage, which is rebuilding your life for better, and this kind of lasts the rest of your life because it's not an easy thing to do. And this channel is actually for people who are in stages 5, 6, and 7. So I get some comments from people who say that you are advising people to be in abusive relationships, and you are just putting a spiritual turn on things, and that's really not my intention. I don't intend anyone to stay in an abusive relationship, physically abusive or emotionally abusive. But at the same time, I don't want to advise people to just simply like give up all responsibility and run away. I don't want them to be scared of the narcissist. These are weak people. They are really, really weak people who are just pretending to be strong. And so that's why I'm saying you use your discretion, and if it is a really abusive situation, then move away. Move first, get everything in order and then move away. So don't go from a worse situation to a worst situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that first put everything in order and then move away from that situation. Or if you have everything in order and if you want to move away from that situation, you can. But the intention of this channel is never to kind of justify what the narcissists do, or try to persuade people to keep on taking all the things that the narcissist is doing. But my solution to dealing with the narcissists, it's definitely, if it is a low level narcissist, I'm not saying like very, very I'm not saying abusive to physical and mental state. Of course, all narcissists do cause abuse at the mental level. But what I mean is, if you really need to be out of that situation, be out of it. But this channel is more for people who are not in such a bad situation, but whose personality has been affected by being near narcissists for a long time. And mostly it is for empaths who don't want to be in the negative spectrum of emotions, because as empaths, negative spectrum of emotion affects them very, very deeply, at a very deep degree, and they want to be in positive spectrum of emotions. So this channel is for those people. And I totally understand there are other kind of people who are more aggressive and aggression based, and there's nothing wrong in being like that. So maybe this channel is not for you, because you will find it irritating to listen to this kind of advice again and again. So I would just say that if it is not your cup of tea, then don't drink it. But I would also say that I am not advising anyone to be in abusive situations. I am advising them to leave those situations if they are very abusive. But at the same time, I'm saying that um, let's build ourselves from within to be so strong that we can face a narcissistic situation and spread some positivity even in that situation. That's my intention. So yeah, this was the video stages of recovery. If you have been through some other stages that I did not cover here, please do comment below. And that is all for today. I wish you all a lot of love and a lot of light. Thanks. Bye.